and welcome back. My name is Kaley Gray, and I would love for you to connect with me on my other social media platforms and subscribe to this channel. It's been so fun getting to get to chat with some of you that way and just kind of get to know you. So thank you just for being along for this journey. You probably saw by today's title, we're going to talk about rejection. Such a fun topic, I know, right? But I think it's a topic, it's actually a topic I've seen a lot on social media. I've seen a lot of people posting about rejection. And what's so crazy is I've actually been praying for like these last few weeks. And this was like the topic that I've been doing it. So I've kind of been preparing on it for the last few weeks. And I finally was like, okay, like now is the time to do this. Like this is the right moment. And so I'm actually going to be kind of like reading from some notes today. Like I normally don't do that. But I really don't want to miss anything because what I have written down I felt like was good, and so I don't want to miss anything that I had shared. But I feel like with rejection, everyone's gonna face rejection, whether it is with a job, it's with a relationship. If you get left out and don't get invited to a party, everyone is going to face some sort of rejection in their life. And today, of course, we're going to be talking more about relationships with rejection, but I feel like this can pertain to almost any season of life that you might be in, but definitely more of in your dating season. And so today I want to read to you the definition of rejection, and it's the act of pushing someone or something away. And so rejection, it can attack our standards. It can be well, I'm not good enough. And you might be feeling hurt. You might be feeling disappointment, and you might be having your self-worth attacked. And it's normal. It's normal to have those feelings and things like that, but you don't have to keep those feelings. You don't have to allow them to, you don't have to accept them. That's the word I'm looking for. Accept. Do not accept the rejection. Because sometimes rejection can be good. I know. Who would think that rejection would be good? But I have definitely seen it in countless times in my life of me being rejected, that it has been good. Because it might not be the right timing, it might not be the right person. And so rejection can actually be protection. And I feel there's two different, so there's your good rejection, and then there's the rejection that hurts. And so I've been on both ends. I've been the one rejecting and the one rejected. And I would definitely say when you're rejecting somebody, it's a lot more easier than being rejected. But still, when you reject somebody, it still hurts. I remember having to, end a relationship. And it was hard because I really did care for that person and like that person, but I knew in my heart, I just didn't have peace about it. I knew that we weren't supposed to continue to go forward. I just didn't have peace in my heart. And so God was protecting me from getting too deep into that relationship. And so that was a rejection. Even though I did have to do rejecting, it still hurt as well. And, so like I said, when you're getting rejected, you have all these lies. You feel your self-worth. You're am I ever going to get married? Does anybody like me? And I just feel that it's the perfect time for the enemy just to come in and just feed lies to you. And so at the moment, rejection does not feel like protection. It hurts. Your feet, just your self-worth, your confidence, it can just be kind of crushed. And something for me I've had to do in the midst of rejection is not be mad at the person that is rejecting me. I cannot hold on to that anger or bitterness or anything for them rejecting me, even if you don't know why. I've been rejected kindly, and I've also been rejected not so kindly. And in both instances, I've had to make sure that I am not mad at that person. So don't stay mad at that person, because God truly has your best interest at heart. It might not feel like it in the moment, but He really does have your best interest at heart. And so I know like something for me, something like my mom has like always prayed, like whenever like, you know, I might be interested in somebody or like in a relationship, she'll just like be like, God, if this is not the man for Kaley, that you would just dissolve this relationship. And 9 times out of 10, that usually happens pretty quickly. Almost like 10 out of 10. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, so that's just like something that's prayed. And so I really feel like God's always like protected me in that situation. And so not that I'm like saying my mom has caused that I've had a lot of rejection because of my mom. I'm not blaming her whatsoever. I know it's been a moment of protection. Like I know God has truly been protecting me. But what do I do? What do you do when you're like rejected? Like how do we change these like feelings and emotions? And something that has really helped me is like prayer and worship. And just kind of like allowing God to like shift my heart and renew my mind has really helped me a lot with rejection, and just kind of like reminding me, like I have to remind myself of who I am. Like I'm God's child, like I'm chosen, like I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And so allowing him to shift my heart, as well as like I will do like a physical activity, you know, I might like go out and do something, and I like live in the moment, like I'm getting my mind off of myself. And that really helps a lot with when you're kind of going through that rejection, as well as like, you know, trying to get together with people and like close friends. I'll do that. And like serve others. That's another thing I'll do, is like, again, like getting my mind off myself and like helping other people. So those are just like some little tidbits. I'm going to expound more, but of how you can kind of like shift that and like get that, try to get to that next step of like getting away from the rejection of like all the fears and the emotions and the lies that the enemy is giving you. We need to think of rejection as a prick. Like, you know, when you've been poked and you just got this like little prick in your arm or your leg or something like that. Because rejection, it's not going to take you completely down. It will if you allow it to, but it's not going to. It's just a little prick. And I think a lot of times we let it expound, become this big thing, and just like completely tear us down. But don't let it. It's just like a little prick in this moment. And something that like I have done is I always listen to worship music. And so, you know, people do have different ways, but worship music is something that helps me. And the song Faithful by Elevation Worship is a song that has helped me countless times when I've been feeling rejected. And I actually want to read the lyrics to you because they're just so powerful. And it says, when I felt like the burden was more than I could hold, when the whispers of worry overwhelmed my soul, you never left me alone. You were there all along. And that's so true. Like God has never left you. He's always with you. And we don't have to carry this burden alone. Like, I don't know why we think like when we're rejected, like this is it, like we're the ones having to deal with it, but we don't have to, because God's with us. It says, you are faithful. Why should my heart be afraid? You are faithful. I know you're not going to change. Oh God, my Father, how great is your faithfulness. And that is just like, it's so true. Like, I just have to I shifted my heart. Like recently when I had been going through a moment of rejection, and I played this song. I'm not lying. I played this song like 5 times in a row. I had to remind myself of, God, you are faithful in my life. Like, I need some faithfulness right now. And he just like reminded me, like, Kaley, like, I have been faithful in every single area of your life. Why don't you trust me with your singleness? Why don't you trust me with your future husband? And I do trust him, but there's those moments of rejection where you have this doubt and you're like, I don't know if this is true, if this is gonna happen, if it's ever gonna happen. And he reminded me, like, he has been faithful in every area of my life. Like, why don't I trust him? Like, why don't I trust his faithfulness in this area? This rejection was protection. And even though it didn't feel like it at the moment, it was. And so, like, just listening to the song, if you need to listen to that song, because it has truly helped me countless times in areas. And if you've given your heart to the Father, I've given my heart to the Father. I've given my heart to him, and I trust him, and I know that he has my best interests at heart, then I have to remain faithful in him, that he's been there all along. Like, I don't have to worry. And so just by like listening to this song and worshiping to this song, it like helped just kind of shift my heart, like kind of like talked about earlier. Just allow it to shift your heart. And it still hurts. Not gonna lie, it still hurts. There still is that disappointment. I feel like everybody grieves rejection differently, and that's okay. But don't allow the disappointment to control you. You need to keep living, you need to keep moving on, because I think a lot of times when we are rejected, we just think that's it and we're done, and like we can't move forward, and it's easy to get into a dark place. And you know, easier said than done, like to get out of that dark place. And that's why if you can change the narrative, if you can shift your heart and your mind right away after this rejection and really trust God, you won't get into that place where it allows you to like stop moving forward. You're going to be able to continue to move forward. And so, you know, there's that saying, like, if you get bucked off the saddle, the horse, you get back on. And so if you've fallen off the saddle, you just have to get back on. And some ways that you can help do that is name the lie. Like, if there's a lie that the enemy is telling you when you've been rejected, name that lie. Next, you're gonna confess the truth. Confess the truth that God has that lie is not true, that you are a child of God, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and that he has your husband and he has your best interest at heart, or your wife. Sorry if you're a guy. And then rebuke the lie. Like, just say, I do not receive this in Jesus' name, that this lie is not true. I'm not receiving that lie. And then replace the lie with the truth. So if you need to, get the word out and replace it. Like, okay, no, I am beautiful. Like, I am a good catch. Like, I do have qualities to be a good wife. I will have a family someday. Like, just replace the lie of what the enemy's telling you and love yourself. I think it's so easy to just be down on yourself and hard on yourself, but love yourself. Love who you are and who God's created you to be, because there is only one you. We are all different personalities, all different characteristics and traits, and you need to love who God has created you to be. And then, like I said, keep moving forward. Don't allow this rejection to hold you back, to stop you from keep moving forward and keep putting yourself out there. Because it is hard when you've been rejected after rejected after rejected, that you don't want to keep moving on and like try putting yourself out there. But if you can know who you are and just remind yourself of who God is and just rebuke that lie that's coming in, you can keep moving forward. And because it's inevitable, like rejection is going to happen at some point. And like, it's not a joke, but like something my friend and I always say is it only takes one. It only takes one person for you to be able to start your life with in that relationship. And so you have to give that person a chance. And so I think, you know, there's going to be some rejection along the way, but just know that God has created you amazing and he has your best interest at heart, and thank him for that rejection because he was protecting you. So I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I can't wait to see you. Until next time, bye.